Hello, welcome back. We follow our route visiting different villages of Alsace. Many of them, like those we visit today, are within the wine route formed by 8 villages that, as you see, have a monoculture of vineyards. We left Colmar and headed very close, only 6 kilometers, to the village of Turckheim. Turckheim, which is not a village, as it holds the title of city since 1312, has a population of approximately 4,000 inhabitants, and as I commented, it is one of the 8 villages that are within the route of Alsatian wines. As for the parking, if you access from the road D10, just at the entrance you have the parking of the Square of the Republic, which, in addition to being wide and free, is next to the Gate of France, one of the gates of entry of the city. In case you are complete, if you turn to the left, following the road D10, you can find many more parking spaces. I leave you the location in the description of the video. We entered the city by the Gate of France, which was originally intended for economic exchanges mainly towards Switzerland. Dated 1330, its lower part has undergone some modifications throughout history. It was equipped with a Leven bridge, a railway, and 2 doors that were closed at night and during Sunday Mass. The Gate of France successively carried the arms shield of the Holy German Empire and of Louis XIV, and received towers in 1871 that were demolished in 1912. From the Gate of France, we continue to the Place Turenne, in which the first thing that draws attention is the Stockbrunnen fountain, already mentioned in the 1667 municipal ordinances, and in which it was forbidden to wash clothes and give drink to animals. In front of the fountain, we have the old guard body, to which today other uses are given, including the Tourist Information Office. We continue to quietly enjoy the city and arrive at the Garden of the Ville, a small and cozy garden located in front of the town hall, which is located in a 17th century style building and was the seat of the Praetor of Justice of the ancient imperial city. And as a curiosity, in the floor room was used for a long time as a dance hall. Also next to the Garden of Ville, we find the Hotel of the 2 Keys, which is located in a beautiful romantic residence dating from the Renaissance, and that, built in the 15th century, is catalogued as a historical monument. From the hotel we passed in front of the Church of Santa Anna and headed to the Door of Brant, which of the 3 doors that surround the city is the one that has the most defensive vocation, a function that has been reflected in its massive architecture and devoid of attributes, except for the Gorgona, a sculpture intended to hide the curious or mock the enemy. And in it we find a plate of recognition and gratitude to the 29 neighbors, which in the dawn of the 4th of February, 1945 gave their life to liberate the city from the German troops, helping in their advance to the American troops. From the gate, following the Rue des Vignerons, the street of the viticultors, we find the Memorial Museum of the Battles of the Colmar Bag, which we find closed, but which surely deserves the visit. We follow the street of the winemakers, admiring their beautiful and colorful houses, and admiring the small details that can be found in each of them, arriving a little time to another of the city gates, the Munster Gate or the Torment Gate. Built during the 14th century, the Munster Gate marks mostly the history of witchcraft, since it is through these gates that the victims of torture were moved to a place called One, where they were executed, being a total of 26 witches burned there between 1572 and 1626. The door was also intended to warn of storms, as shown by the bell beneath its small bell tower, which is still intact. From this door we go down again to the center by the Grand Rue, the main street, where we continue to admire its magnificent and colorful houses with some coquette corners. We arrived in a short time to the Place de la Touraine again, where we started our tour and in which, in addition to the fountain, as we indicate, is the old body of guard, today tourist office. And here ends our more than recommended visit to the beautiful town of Turckheim. After visiting the beautiful town of Turckheim, we took the car again and, crossing villages of unnamed names, we traveled the 10 kilometers that separate us from our new destination in less than 15 minutes. We continue the route of the Alsatian wines. As you can appreciate in the video, the large number of vineyards in the area, and we finally arrive at our next visit, the city of Kaysersberg. Kaysersberg, which has about 4,500 inhabitants, is the beginning of the Weiss River Valley, or White River in German, crossing this river the city from west to east, and in which the ruins of the castle of Schlossberg stand out. As for parking here, we do not find any central and free place to park, having as the only option a large paid parking at the city doors, and of which, as always, I leave you the location in the description of the video. From this parking we access the city, better said Imperial City, since 1227. And we began to stroll through its main street, the general street of Goal, surrounded by the typical and beautiful Alsatian houses, and by which we reached the town hall square, an impressive Renaissance building in the sandstone of the Vosges, which was built in 1604, serving as the residence and administrative center of the imperial waterfall, and in which today, in addition to the municipality, there is the tourist office. From here, on a rocky promontory, we can observe the castle, built in 1227 to control an important passage between the High Alsace and Lorraine. We continue walking and we arrive at the Plaza Genital, in which, in addition to the church, the fountain of the Emperor Constantine was built, as well as the retable of the church in 1521. We visit the Church of the Holy Cross, built between 1230 and the 16th century. It is dedicated to the Holy Cross, of which he would have owned a relic. Legend has it that the church was commissioned by the Emperor of the Holy Germanic Roman Empire Barbaroja. Lacking the eastern means to complete its construction, he decided to sell the crown of his wife, the Queen. Moved by this pious decision, God sent 2 angels to buy the crown and then give it to the Empress, and thus Barbarous could resume the construction of the church, and complete it in a year, but as we say, it is a legend. We continue along General Street de Gaulle to the bridge, stopping at every small corner we find. Upon reaching the bridge, we can see on the right the Hose House, built in 1492 by the Führer of the same name, and in which on the large window, you can see an inscription in German that says, "The Cardos and the thorns kick loud, the speakers even more." The Hose House is located in front of the Weiss River, a river about 24 kilometers long. To connect the old town with the high city crossing this river, a first wooden construction was built. And in 1514 a fortified bridge of stone was built, this time to avoid any enemy incursion through the river. In this way the bridge was equipped on both sides with R-pillars and parapets perforated with arches and cannonis. In the middle of the bridge there is also an edicle, a small chapel, which houses the polychromatic statue of the Virgin with the Child. Before the statue took its place there, the residents responsible for minor crimes were locked there, mocking them all over the city. We continue to walk down the street of General de Gaulle without ceasing to delight in the houses and the details they present. Back to the car, we do not stop inspecting every street we see and in which you can find all kinds of surprises. We ended our visit to this beautiful city, although there is still a lot to see in Alsace.